and so they'll take the whole course.
And it is so fascinating because, you know, when you were stating the 4 steps or the 4 main strategies, you were talking about to teach the child to disagree appropriately. And most of the time, that step does not exist. It's just you accept the answer, you accept the no answer, and you drop, you know, and you drop it. There is no in between. So that's why I think that it's fascinating because we don't give the chance, you know, we don't give that chance to try to discuss and to negotiate. I don't know if it's a negotiation, but just to see, okay, you think that you wanted to have that. Okay, let's see why it's not, you know, going to happen. Let's see why it is going to happen. But, you know, most of the time as parents, I'm telling you something, you have to do it, and then you drop the subject. And we skip the negotiation, you know, the arguing, you know, be able to argue appropriately. We skip that step. Can you tell us why it is important? Because I didn't know it was, we should have that step.
Yeah. So disagreeing appropriately is a really mature skill. And what it does, in fact, I call it the gateway skill to self-government because the children love this skill more than any other skill, this disagree appropriately skill, because it helps them get their way. They love it. But what it does that is so vital is it disengages the emotional part of the brain and it engages the logical part of the brain. So if the child knows they have a skill and they think, okay, mom's telling me no, that I can't do something. I can't have a cookie. I can't go to that party, you know, whatever it is. Mom's telling me no, I don't like that. And they say to themselves, wait a minute, mom said every time I don't like something, we can talk about it, but we have to do it appropriately. I have a skill for that called disagree appropriately. In fact, as a mother, I'm going to even prompt my children to disagree appropriately with me. I'm going to tell them, I'm going to give you a no answer, but you can disagree appropriately with me. I may even tell them when they're little the exact words to tell me to change my mind.
Okay.
So that they practice disengaging that emotional, engaging the logical, and they have a conversation with me about it. So in the Teaching Self-Government family, it's all about family unity, family bonding. It's about the whole family deciding together who they're becoming as a group, not about just each individual person. So in our family, we created a family vision. This is something I talk about in my Teaching Self-Government Parenting course, how we make a vision for 20 years in the future of what type of a family we're becoming. And there's ways that we talk about that and use that in our daily lives. So our children know this is about a bond here. So we want to connect, we want to discuss all the time. But there's also a point where enough discussion has happened and they need to honor parental authority, right? So that's an important thing too, but they know that there's a means or a way to discuss, and that's that disagree appropriately skill. So to disagree appropriately, what a person does is they first ask their parents. So this honors parental authority. They say, okay, mom, may I disagree appropriately? So if I said to my child no, they would say, okay, may I disagree appropriately? And what this does is it triggers my brain, the parent brain, to go, oh yeah, I gotta listen. I gotta listen to them. I gotta connect with them. I gotta look in their eyes. So then I say yes. I always say yes unless they have already disagreed appropriately about that one thing. Then I can tell them, no, we already had a disagree appropriately time with that one, and you're going to have to accept the no answer and just say okay. But so I tell them, yes, you may disagree appropriately. Then the steps to disagreeing appropriately, they look at me, they keep a calm face, voice, and body. So they can't do it with a whiny voice. They have to do it with a calm voice. And then they seek to understand. So they say that they understand the other person's point of view. So they might say, Mom, I understand that you don't want me to go to the party because our family has something else that night.
Okay.
Then they share their point of view. But Mom, I told Susan that I would be there to help with the games. Is there a way that I can at least come late because that's when they're doing the games? So they share their point of view. And then the next step is to listen to what mom or dad or teacher, whoever has to say. And then they say, okay, and they drop the subject. They don't talk about it anymore. So they use this skill with each other. Siblings use this. They disagree appropriately with each other. They have to learn how to accept no answers from each other as well. Anyway, so this is an amazing skill. It teaches them they can get their way. And what I tell parents is when you're using the disagree appropriately skill, have it work. Have them get their way. I mean, this is something
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, because then it teaches them not to be emotional. Yeah.
It's a social skill, and in the workplace, they are going to be golden because they will know how to disagree, appropriately, how to make their voice be heard, and it's important nowadays.
Oh, it's so important. In fact, I do a lot of work to try to protect families and children. And so I will oftentimes go to legislatures and meet with lawmakers, and they don't always agree with me. Right? So I have to know how to disagree appropriately. I have to know how to look at things from their point of view and see why they feel a certain way, and then how to share my opinion. And this is an incredibly mature thing. When your children have this skill, they carry with them much more confidence than other people. In fact, these 4 basic skills build confidence. They help the child know that they don't have to be worried about getting emotional, getting angry, getting taken advantage of by somebody else's emotions. They know that they can control themselves. Now, this doesn't mean all emotions are bad, because we have emotions, but it's important for us to be emotionally intelligent, for us to know, well, when I have an emotion, what do I do with it so that I can still maintain good relationships?
Yes, definitely. You were talking about, I just